This question 21 from the 2017 Year 7 NAPLAN calculator, and it says select the number line that correctly shows the positions of 0.455, 0.05 and 0.55. Now, before you can look at any of these four, you need to see which of these numbers, these three numbers here, are the smallest. Now, the smallest is 0.05 because we've got the decimal point, then we've got the tenths place, and then the hundredths place. So if you look at the tenths place for each of these numbers, I've written these three numbers out, and the tenths place I've put in bold and I've highlighted the tenths place. So therefore this number here is the smallest. 0.05 is the smallest number, so I'll call that number 1. And see 0.4, that is 0.455 is the next smallest, because we look at the tenths place, which is highlighted, and then 0.55 is the largest of those three numbers. So we want to look for the answer that has those numbers in that order. So we want 0.05, then 0.455 and 0.55. So just looking for that. 0.05, well, it's not this one. Here 0.05 is last, so it's not that one. Here we've got 0.05, 0.455 and 0.55, so that one makes sense. So this second bubble, option 2 or B, is correct, highlighted. William buys 12 kilograms of clay for $17.40, and the clay comes in 1 kilogram bags. How much does 7 kilograms of clay cost? So let's look at the information that we've got. We know that 12 kilograms of clay costs $17.40, or that William pays $17.40 for 12 kilograms of clay. So we want to see what, now the clay comes in 1 kilo bag, so we need to work out the price of 1 bag of clay. Now 1 kilogram of clay costs $17.40 divided by 12, which is $1.45. So each bag costs $1.45. So therefore 7 kilograms of clay will cost $1.45 times 7, which is $10.15. Okay, so just noting, when you do put your answer in, you only need to put 10.15 because the dollar sign is already there. Question 23, it says that Fred watches a movie on a DVD, and we can see the running time of this movie is 228 minutes. And it says that he starts watching the movie at 12:33 p.m. and what time will the movie end in 24-hour time? Now before we can go adding time, we need to put the 228 minutes into hours and minutes. Now we know that 1 hour, so we know that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. Okay, so we need to see how many hours and minutes 228 minutes is. Now you can, what you can do, you can do 228 divided by 60, and you'll find that you get an answer that says 3 point something. Or what you can do is, you've got 60 minutes, which is 1 hour, plus another 60 minutes is 120 minutes, that's 2 hours, another 60, that's 180 minutes. If I add another 60, if I do 60 times 4, I get 240 minutes. But that is too long. We can see that 228 minutes is almost 240 minutes, so 240 minutes is 60 times 4, which is 4 hours, but the movie is a little bit shorter than 4 hours. You can actually work out how many minutes it is short, so you can say 240 minutes, take away 228 minutes, well that is 12 minutes short. So the movie is almost 4 hours, okay, but it's short 12 minutes. So therefore the movie lasts 3 hours, and we have to take away 12 minutes from 60 minutes, which is 3 hours, then we've got 48 minutes. So that's how long the movie lasts. Now, we need to look at the time that the movie ends in 24-hour time. Now 12:33 is already in 24 hours time, but we have to add 3 hours and 48 minutes to it. So the movie starts at 12:33, as we said before, which is already in 24-hour time. So 12:33 p.m. is 12:33. The movie is almost 4 hours, but it's 4 hours take away 12 minutes. So what we're going to do is add the 4 hours first, and we get 12:33 plus 4 hours. That gives us 16:33 in 24-hour time, and then we need to take away the 12 minutes. Okay, so we've got 16:33, take away 12 minutes, which is from here, which would give us 16. So 33 minus 12 is 21. So it's 16:21. Ends at 16:21, which I've shaded. Now, it is easiest to say that, to see that 228 minutes is almost 4 hours, okay? So it is best to add on the 4 hours and take away the 12 minutes, okay? For it says Emma needs to calculate 18 times 7 plus 18 times 3. Now, when we look at it, we can see that 18 is multiplied by 7 plus, which means and, 18 is multiplied by 3. So what we've really got is 7 lots of 18 and 3 lots of 18. And when you think of it that way, you will know that you've got 7 lots of 18 and 3 lots of 18. So I've got there, and you sort of have to read that backwards. So 18 times 7 plus 18 times 3. 18's in common, so you've got 7 lots of 18 and 3 lots of 18. Well, doesn't that really mean you've got 10 lots of 18? Or I could say I've got 7 plus 3, which is 10 lots of 18. So I know I've got 10 lots of 18, and we can see from these expressions that 7 plus 3 is 10. So I've got 10 lots of 18. Okay, so that's the same as 10 lots of 18. Okay, which is this first answer here, because it's 7 plus 3 lots of 18. Now, this is a calculator section of the paper. The other thing you can do, if you're not sure, is on your calculator you can do 18 times 7 plus 18 times 3 on your calculator, and you will get an answer of 180 for that first bit. If you then put this first expression into your calculator, you'll also get 180, okay? This other expression here, 18 times 7 plus 18, will not give you 180. Neither will this expression down here, nor the last one. Okay, if you can't see that, and this is a calculator section of the paper, as I said before, you can just work out, put this in the calculator, and you'll get 180, and then you can see which of these expressions gives you 180, and the first expression does. Next question. Okay, question 25. Mount Kosciuszko is the highest point in Australia at 2,228 metres above sea level, and Lake Eyre is the lowest point at minus 15 metres or negative 15 metres, which is below sea level. Now, what is the difference in metres between the highest and the lowest points in Australia? A little sketch of that here. So from 0, which is sea level, so 0 is at sea level, and here is the highest point, 2,228 metres above sea level, and then Lake Eyre is 15 metres below. Now, the distance from 0 to 2,228 is 2,228 metres, and from 0 to negative 15, that is a difference between those two, is also 15 metres. So this distance here, which is 2,228, to this distance here is 15 metres. So plus 15, which gives us 2,243 metres. Now, if you want to do it by subtraction, you will do it as follows. 2,228, we know that difference means take away, but it's take away, so I'll just do that. As I said, difference is take away, so it would be 2,228 take away negative 15, which is 2,228 plus 15, because when you take away a negative, it's the same as adding, which again is 2,243 meters. Okay? Okay, question 26. This graph shows a shop's profits. This graph showing a shop's profits is published on a website. Now just notice that this graph does not start from 0, so it is very misleading. And the question is, what conclusion can be read from the graph? So in year 1, the profit was 81,000. In year 2, it's 83,000. In year 3, it's 84,000. And in year 4, the profit's 82,000. And these are the responses that you are to choose from. Which conclusion can be reached from the graph? The profit tripled from year 1 to year 2. It didn't triple. It has only increased by 2,000, so that is incorrect. With the first bubble, this is incorrect. It hasn't tripled. It has only increased by 2,000. It looks like it's 3 times higher, but the misleading thing again is that the graph does not start at 0. Now, the next bubble, the profit fell by 50% from year 3 to year 4. Now, it does look half the size, but the profit has only dropped from 84,000 to 82,000. So once again, no, it has decreased only by 2,000. If it's fell by 50%, it means that it's half of what it was, and it's not half of what it was. The graph looks like half, but it's actually only dropped 2,000. So the second answer is not correct. It's only decreased by 2,000, which is not 50%. A 50% decrease means half. It has reduced by half, which means it would have to drop by 42,000, which it hasn't. Okay, now it says the third one, the profits were positive in years 1, 2, and 3, and negative in year 4. Now, in year 1, we made a profit of 81,000. In year 2, 83,000. In year 3, a profit of 84,000. In year 4, we've made a profit of 82,000. So the profits were all positive, so there were no negative profits, so that is incorrect. The third response is incorrect, so let's look at the last response. The profits were greater than $80,000 in the period between year 1 and year 4, and yes, all these profits are greater than 80,000. Okay? So maybe what you should really do is just read them all quickly, and we can clearly see that the fourth response is correct. So just shading the fourth response. 27. Which number sentence is correct when x equals 6? When the box equals 6. Now you're going to have to substitute and let the box equal 6. So for example, for the first one, 15 times 6, you need to work that out and write an answer, and then you need to work out 90 divided by 6, get an answer, and see if they're equal. So here we've got the first one, 15 times box. Now the box here is 6, and we get 90, and then on the other side, 90 divided by 6, and we get 15. Well, 90 does not equal 15, so the first answer is not correct. Now we need to do that for each of these remaining options. Option 8 times box, so 8 times 6 is 48, and 288 divided by 6, we're getting 48. Well, those two are equal, so it looks like this second response is correct. Meaning two options, we already know that the second one's correct, but 5 times 6 is 30, and 216 divided by 6 is 36, so we know that 30 doesn't equal 36. And the last option, 2 times 6, we get 12, and 12 divided by 6 we get 2, so we know that that's incorrect as well. So the second option was the answer. Once you get the correct answer, you don't need to try the rest of them. Rick is a manager at a shoe company, and he notices that 57 of their 1,000 special orders are for purple shoes. Write this as a decimal. Now, 57 of their 1,000. That means you've got the fraction 57 out of 1,000, or 57 divided by 1,000. So that's the fraction. To write that as a decimal, we would do 57 divided by 1,000. So 57 over 1,000, or out of 1,000, is the same as 57 divided by 1,000, and when you divide that on your calculator, you end up with 0.057 as a decimal. So the answer is 0.057.